In this lecture, we are going to explore another way of creating variables. PHP allows us to create constants. A constant is a variable that cannot have its value updated. They're a special type of variable. If we attempt to update a constant after it's been initialized, PHP will throw an error. Constants can be reliable for storing data that never needs to change. We can store strings, numbers, booleans, etc. You may be asking, why would we want to create a constant? It seems like a variation of a variable, but with fewer features. This is true, but it's incredibly beneficial. Firstly, constants are faster than regular variables. PHP does not need to keep track of changes to a variable. Secondly, constants are reliable. Let's say you are calculating the total cost of a purchase. Taxes must be applied. It's unlikely the tax rate may change for a user. It's the perfect scenario for storing the tax rate in a constant. Variables are constantly being passed around. If we were to use a regular variable, the variable might accidentally get updated. By using a constant, we are always guaranteed the value of a variable never changes. For these reasons, constants are considered useful. Enough chit-chat. Let's try creating a constant. In our PHP file, let's remove the previous code. Creating a constant is a completely different process than creating a regular variable. Constants are declared with the define function. The define function has two arguments. The first argument is the name of the variable. For this example, let's call our constant name. There are three things worth mentioning about this argument. Firstly, the name must be passed in as a string. Secondly, the name must adhere to the variable naming rules. For example, spaces are not allowed. Otherwise, we would receive an error. Lastly, the name of the variable is in all caps. Technically, we don't need to use uppercase letters. Constants can have lowercase letters in their names. However, it's common practice to use all uppercase letters. This convention helps identify constants. Throughout your career as a WordPress developer, you're going to notice that this convention is widely adopted. For the rest of this course, we're going to follow this practice. Let's shift our focus to the second argument. The second argument of the define function is the value for the variable. Let's pass in our name. After defining a constant, the value may never change. On the other hand, we are allowed to read the value. For example, let's echo the name constant. A constant's value can be accessed by its name. We don't have to add the $ symbol to the name. We can add the variable solely by its name. In your browser, refresh the page. Perfect! The value of our constant appears on the page. By using constants, we are guaranteed the value never changes. Throughout this course, we will be using a mixture of constants and regular variables. Let's continue our journey in the next lecture.